Hello, it's Friday, and I'm giving you an update on what I've been doing. I've been pretty much concentrating on Grand Finale, which is my UFO for February with Crazy Moose Fabrics. I have the top pieced, so the next thing to do will be sandwiching it. I also wanted to let you know I did buy something. Um, I'm doing the coriander quilts block of the month, and in it she had some seams that were pressed open, and she used this tool. It is a pressing bar with clapper, 12-inch wool, and I decided to get this because I have a problem opening the seams. It just is tedious, and my fingers just are too big. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to give this a try because apparently this makes it easier to open your seams for not only quilting but other kind of sewing. So I got that. I haven't used it yet because I just got it. So I'll let you know when I'm opening seams if that is helpful. I've got the Grand Finale pieced, and I've picked this as my backing. Something from my stash that I've had a long time. I'm for the binding, I took the two browns that were left and made them into a scrappy kind of binding. So that's going to be my binding, is with those fabrics. And when I was making, so as I had said before, the instructions in this said that you had to have this tool called the Easy Dresden tool, and all the instructions for this block here were in the Easy Dresden tool. There was nothing in these instructions to tell you except that you needed to use a 2-inch Dresden with the Easy Dresden tool, and that you needed a 4.5-inch block to put it on. That was pretty much the only measurements that were given for anything. Like the circle, the quarter circle, it said you needed to refer to your Easy Dresden tool in order to learn how to make that. Of course, I didn't have any instructions for that, basically for that block. I went online, found a template for a Dresden fan, and used the 2-inch, what it said was the 2-inch one, but they were too small. So I actually decided to keep going with it, and I'll give you a closer up view of that, of what I did. It also said for the half square triangles, you needed to use thangles, which I didn't have. So I went on YouTube and saw what they did for the half square triangles on YouTube was you take your jelly, because there was jelly roll strips supplied for the half square triangles. Maybe because of the way I made these, there weren't enough, so I had to go into my stash and find some more to make 144 half square triangles. But you take your jelly roll and you sew down all the length, and then you take your ruler and you put it on. So this is the way it was. You put your ruler on the 2.5-inch mark with the points going up. You line up your ruler with the 2.5-inch mark, and then you cut on that. So that was how I did these, was by cutting a triangular piece out of the jelly roll and then opening it up and trimming it to, I cut it a little bit bigger so I could trim it down to the 2.5-inch block, which was very handy because this is on the bias, and it would get skewed. I just had troubles, so having it a little bit bigger and trimming it down was key. Also, I got this Creative Grids ruler just to try it because my 5.5-inch ruler had chips all over it, and I gave it to my husband to use because he was borrowing it all the time. I told him, just keep it. I'm getting a new one. So I got this, and I saw that one side of it has, you know, the regular markings for inches. And then the other side had the 1/2 inch things. And I was like, what am I supposed to do with that? Well, I just found out. They were key for making this because I needed to do it on the 2.5 inch mark. And instead of having to look for the little lines over here, I had the big line here for measuring it. And I couldn't believe it. It was great. And it's also got these, you can hear that. So it doesn't slip. These non-skid things are along the outside edge, and then there's also dots in there. So it doesn't skip, it doesn't slide. I think I might just, as I have to replace my rulers, I'm thinking of going with Creative Grids. I've been using OmniGrid, but I'm thinking of slowly switching over to Creative Grids for my measuring tools. Also for trimming these, once again, I used my Block Lock 2.5 inch trimmer and my Soft Squares acquired rotary mat, cutting mat that spins. Went so fast, 144 blocks to trim, but with these two tools, it went so fast. I couldn't believe it. So I wanted to share the tools with you that helped make this a much easier project for me to do. Give you a view here of, this is what the top looks like now. I have it on my design board, which is mobile. It is a piece of insulation board that I covered with batting. So I put it in the closet and I bring it out when I need it. Of course, it's not, you know, it's in the way. So when I'm working on a project, which I was doing because I had all of those half square triangles laid out here, anyway, I had them all laid out there, and there, my finger wouldn't go. So I had them all laid out there, and as I was getting up and down every time, because I tried just doing them without, you know, like bringing them over to the sewing machine and then sewing, and I had to rip some out because I had them going the wrong way, because they're certain ways. So I decided to just get some steps in, and I just walked back and forth between the design board for every block, and I got them, so I didn't have to rip anything out after that, doing it that way. So I have this design board that's been set up while I've been doing that. So I've been concentrated. I haven't been cutting my scraps. I only did one day this week. I've just been working on this so that I can get the design board put back in the closet so I have room in my room. But I'll get that and show it to you. So there's a close-up of what I ended up doing for the fan block, so that you can see a difference, how I had to change it up, because there was only 5 fans in the pattern. When I did 5 fans, it only went, you know, you could see it only went part way. So, and then I had to also figure this out. A canning jar lid, the inner canning jar lid, that's what I used for my template for that. Because kitchen items can be very helpful. I don't know if I have that handy here. Apparently not. I must have taken it back to the kitchen. So anyway, and then there's the half square triangles. But so there's a corner. you saw the whole thing on the board. That's where I am. So next is sandwiching. So I wanted to get you to see that so I could get it off the design board and put that away. And I'll show you the design board. See, it is, I cut it down. It was this 8 foot. I cut it down to 6 foot. That's the back. So it's insulation board that my husband wasn't using, and he let me have it. So I used double-sided tape to stick it on there, and it works great. I have some smaller ones with poster board that I had made, but that one is really great for working on bigger projects. All right, I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you probably next week with my next update.